You have to trust and believe that future you is in fact a badass, and I'm going to tell you why. When you set a North Star goal, when you set your mind towards something, whether you want to make more money, you want to achieve something very specific, you want to get shredded, you want to get a great physique, you want to pay off some loans or debt or whatever it is, when you set it, you've already done most of the work. You've already done the work, actually. Now you just have to trust that you're going to go get it. And what does this even mean? Okay. When I first graduated college, I was in my first like adult only environment once I got my first job, right? I was an athlete. The only way I knew how to talk was to other idiot athletes and other like idiot guys my age in high school and college and speak in brain rot terms. And so during my first professional environment, it's like having to learn a whole new language overnight. And that's something I never hear other people talk about whatsoever, is literally having to learn the like communication maze of the professional world. And I was always so worried about how I was being perceived in the profession and in this job, right? That when I was speaking to people, when I was speaking to my coworkers, I was more present in my own head. The conversation in my own head was louder, and I was more present in that than the actual physical real world conversation I was having. I was so focused on critiquing myself and was concerning myself with how I was being perceived. If this person thought I was smart, if I was doing the right thing, if I'm being interesting enough in the conversation. Like that was my main focus of any real life conversation I was having. And it was a real problem. I'm not typically an anxious person, but, and I wasn't necessarily anxious like in my chest when these conversations happened, but I was definitely way overthinking them, way in my own head. It really bothered me. And so for the next 6 months to a year, I was so focused on getting better at communicating and learning how to conversate better, how to carry on a conversation. And I'd watch YouTube videos, I would study, I would read, I would write. Like I was doing a lot of actually very good things to try to improve my communication. But the only thing it did was tighten that grip that I had on my desire to get better communicating. Now that I knew more about communication, now it just gave me more ammo for things to critique myself for, right? Like, oh, I didn't do this, and that. Like I didn't do, this certain thing to, make myself seem more interesting or smarter or whatever. And that frustrated me even more. And having that grip so tight just bugged me that I finally just let go. And was like, you know what? Whatever. If I'm anxious during a conversation, I'm anxious during a conversation. Fast forward a year and a half, 2 years later, I realized I'm not anxious at all anymore. And I'm actually pretty good at communicating, and I'm pretty well liked and respected in the office. And I didn't even change anything. I didn't change anything about who I was. I didn't change my communication style. I'm just living. I'm just existing. And this grip that I had on communication and this inner critique that I had is just dipped out. Why did that happen? Just getting reps in. Just getting reps in and not having it be not choking that bird in the hand, just letting it go, just surrendering to trusting that the reps and the time spent on just getting more experience is just going to solve itself. I had become the future version of myself that the prior version of myself has always wanted, and I didn't even have to do anything other than say, I want to be better at communication. That was it. And subconsciously, I just figured it out. And this is the communication specifically is such a big thing that people spend their entire lives trying to improve. And I figured it out. Not how to be an expert communicator, but at least how to get better is that it just comes with reps and not, being so granular about everything you say and do. That that you don't get in your own way of actually being a better communicator. I don't think I've used many filler words during this video. That's not on purpose. I've been making content for about 7 months now, and that's just happened. It wasn't even something I was trying to accomplish. And now that I'm hyper aware of my filler word usage, now I'm probably going to use some. But anyway, trust that the future version of you already has what you're trying to go for, right? Once you set that North Star goal, all that's left to do is just walk towards it. And it's already yours. The mistake that people make is they try to solve their entire life in one day. You go to bed at night thinking about all your problems, all your issues, all the things you wish you were better at, or the things you wish you stopped doing, your bad habits. And of course, when that's top of mind, why wouldn't you want to try to fix it in all one day? But the only thing you have to do is just decide that it's going to be better in the future, and of course taking some steps to get there, but not doing it out of a place of like trying to whip yourself into submission for it. No, it comes from love. Love yourself, love your present self, because future version of you is a badass. And present version of yourself might be a badass too, which is even more reason why future you will just be a super badass. So all this to say, if you want something, if you can point to something and say, I want this, I want XYZ, just start walking towards it and envy your future self. When you can envy your future self, life is so sweet. And watch all your goals come true, and also watch you stop fearing aging. That's a superpower. That's a superpower if there ever was one, is not caring about aging. Because when you can envy, like I'm 26. I envy 30-year-old me. And people are like, what? 30? Bro is pushing 30. He can't wait to be 30 because he's going to be a badass. I'm working towards so many things right now that I'm like jealous of my future version of me having achieved. One of them being getting rid of this raspy voice. I got a little, spent the weekend in the desert, got some dust in there. But you're a badass, dude. Just keep working towards whatever it is you're working towards.